Hey, Pin Dude here. Welcome back to my vintage pinball, Allentown PinFest edition. I just got back from PinFest. I actually pre-bought a game, one of the games that was posted on Pinside. Pre-bought that. It's a vintage and a brand of game that I've been looking for as my next project after Rollergames. There's no better place to pick up a game in the Northeast than the Allentown PinFest. So under this blanket is the game. I will show that to you once we get it unloaded. So let's get going. So here it is. If you can recognize the graphic on the front panel here. This is a 1977 Stern Electronics Stingray. One of the few manufacturers that I haven't had the pleasure of working on yet is a early Bally Stern game. And I actually prefer the look of the Stern games better, so I was looking for a Stern game, anything from 1977 to 1979. So that would have been Stern Pinball to Meteor. And this one happened to pop up on Pinside a couple weeks ago. So Stern Stingray will be my next project after Rollergames. So let's continue to get this thing unloaded. Alright, we got it out of the car, got it on the pinball cart. I got the Rage Tilt stream on Twitch from Allentown, since I'm not there anymore. I'm currently back home in New Jersey. And we're just going to try to get this in a situation where we can look it over, give it an overview, maybe even start making a parts list. And for now, this will go in the game room, since I'm only not even halfway through Rollergames. So let's get going. Alright, so I just got the game set up. Here's the back glass. It's actually in pretty good shape, if I can get this to focus. A little bit of wear on the back side, but nothing overly too bad. And the guy actually clear coated it with automotive clear coat, so at least it'll protect what's here. And it presents very well. I'm not too concerned. All right, here's the game. Side art's not too bad. There's a little chunk taken out right here. Front of the game's not too bad. You know, the paint's a little worn, but definitely presentable. Side looks pretty good. A little dirty, and then there the white's kind of yellowed a little bit, but the graphic is in good shape. There's the insert board. I haven't powered up this game. The guy said it worked. I trusted him. A little burn on a couple of the displays, so we might have to work on that. And then inside, we have all the original boards except this is a brand new Alltech board. So hopefully I'll be able to sell that. And I'm going to rebuild an MPU 100 original Stern board to go in there eventually. There's the back, the insert panel, the displays. So all that looks good. There is this one wiring harness that has been hacked up. It does work. I saw the game work in a video and pictures, but obviously we're going to have to address that rat's nest And then the Playfield is not too bad. A little bit of wear down in the bonus area here. The kick out hole is a little chunked up, but most importantly, this plastic, although it is cracked, this plastic is always missing, so at least we can work with that. Pop bumper caps have a little bit of burn in them, and there's a little wear right here from the kick out hole. But overall, and these, oh yeah, these apron plastics are also cracked. But these were used in all the early Stern games, so they'll be easy to find. Also, the apron paint is not the best, but once again, these were used in all of the early Stern games, so it should be pretty easy to find that. The original spinner's there. Hopefully these are the original drop targets, because the reproduction ones don't seem to work as good in the Stern games. But overall, I'm really happy with the game. It looks really good. The guy actually did, you know, a quickie shop job and waxed and cleaned the playfield and put all new rubbers on, and put the All-Tech board in it and got it running. So one of the other things I bought, the guy that was sharing the booth with the guy that I bought this from had Stern Stingray Plastics NOS. Unfortunately, it's not a complete set, but they are NOS and they're beautiful. So I figured for as cheap as he gave me the deal on them, I would buy them. So we got a handful, you know. Luckily, all the plastics in this game look pretty good to me, but obviously there may be some issues, and these were cheap, so I figured why not. I also picked up, for just a few bucks, a original game manual for Rollergames. My game didn't come with one. I was using printouts that I made of the manual on IPDB, the Internet Pinball Database. But for just a couple bucks, I got this manual in real nice shape. No pages missing, got the schematics, so that was real good. And then the only other thing I bought was the shirt for this year's PinFest, which is a real nice shirt. I believe the graphic was done by Rage Tilt. So it's a gray shirt, just says PinFest on the front, but look at that graphic on the back. That's a real nice shirt. So I'm glad I got that. And I believe that's all I got. I don't think I got anything else. I just picked up some of the flyers that Jersey Jack had, like a Hobbit, American Pinball Houdini. Here's a Pirates of the Caribbean, signed by Jersey Jack, and dialed in. But yeah, I believe that's all I got. It was a great show. I haven't been to the show in at least 7, maybe 8 years, when it was only half of the building that it is now. So it was really nice to go today. I had a great time. The free play area was humongous. The vendor area was humongous. The indoor flea market had a lot of good stuff in it. So if you haven't been to PinFest, be sure to go. It's on tomorrow. If you can't make it tomorrow, make sure to go next year. Alright, so let's get back to looking over this game. Alright, so a day has gone by. It's now Saturday of the Allentown show. I got the finals of the pinball tournament up there on the Twitch. Rage Tilt Pinball. And I spent about 5 hours today kind of going through the game, cleaning the cabinet, vacuuming the inside, and just generally giving the game a look over and see what needs to be fixed, and started to make a small parts list of stuff that I needed to do. So let me open up the game and show you what we got. Alright, so starting with the coin door. This coin slot here wouldn't accept a quarter, so I found $1.50 stuck in the coin slot, so that was pretty neat. Unfortunately, somebody put a credit button here, so I'm going to have to fill that hole before I redo the coin door. I already removed that credit switch. But the coin door is fully populated. It's in good shape. It's got quarter coin mechs in it, and they work. So that's all good. I kind of just went through real quick and rebuilt the shooter assembly, as it had all kinds of gunk, probably WD-40 or something in it. So put some new parts on that. Here's the playfield with the glass off. Actually looks pretty good. There's the wear from that kick out hole. Here's the wear from that kick out hole. And the inserts, of course, are cupped, so there's some wear around all of the inserts, but that's easy to touch up and fix later. Magic eraser and alcohol will take care of all the black coiled dust and stuff in the paint, which we'll do before we clear coat it. But other than that, it looks pretty nice. And I went through the NOS plastic set that I bought, and I actually have every plastic except this one here. This is the hard to find one, but this one is original. And although it is cracked, that will be usable. But I have all the other plastics, and actually in the set there was 2 of this one for some reason. And then I need to find these, which are cracked. These are the top arch, and these are really neat because there's a bulb on them and they light up. They look really neat. But they were used on all the early Stern games, so that shouldn't be too hard to find. Alright, so the cabinet I just went over real quick with mean green, a little bit of magic eraser, and then more mean green on a microfiber cloth. Did a pretty good job. It cleaned up pretty good. There's a little yellowing going on. The magic eraser actually took out some of the yellowing. I will try a slightly more aggressive technique once I'm ready to tear the cabinet apart and go through it. But it looks pretty good. It presents well. The little fading on the front, but not too bad. Alright, so let me lift up the playfield and show you inside. Alright, so here's the inside of the cabinet. I just gave it a quick vacuum and then a little mean green on the bottom to get the funk out of there. But everything's here. The tilt bob's here. The chime box. Chime box is here. Missing the ball for the roll tilt. But the wiring's in pretty good shape except for that rat's nest. That goes up to the head. Gonna have to fix that. But other than that, it's pretty clean. Underneath of the playfield also particularly clean. Got a couple issues. This coil stop stripped out. But everything looks pretty good. The flipper bushings have a little bit of play. But everything's here. That's the important part. And all that stuff can be rebuilt quite cheaply. Now over here on the head, I did the same thing, a little mean green and magic eraser. And then mean green again on a microfiber cloth. Came out pretty good. This side in particular has quite a bit of yellowing. Again, the magic eraser took a good chunk of that yellowing off, and we'll try a little more aggressive technique later. But you got to be careful, because anything really aggressive, you're going to start to wear this paint off. So once you start to see some coloring on your magic eraser, it's time to stop, because you don't want to damage the original artwork if you're going to be keeping that original artwork. And I particularly like the way this game presents with its original patina. So we're not going to mess too much with it. So here's the insert board. Clean that up just real quick. Didn't go crazy. And then inside, the one bigger issue is the lamp driver board here, which is just below where the original battery on the original CPU was. Leaked all its gunk on the lamp driver board. So all these SCRs have blue corrosion on them. A bunch of these chips have blue corrosion on them. Some of the smaller SCRs. So I'm going to have to depopulate pretty much a good chunk of this board to deal with that damage, and then replace all the SCRs, put new sockets in, replace some chips. Also, I'm going to be rebuilding a original MP100 board for this game. We'll be going through the solenoid driver board, we'll be going through the rectifier board, and we'll be repinning connectors. I'm going to do all that while the game is set up in the game room and when I have time between working on the Rollergames. So look for a part 1 of the 1977 Stern Stingray restoration in not too long from now. And one more time, here's the back glass, which I really, really love the artwork on this back glass. Really neat. All right, so now I'm gonna move the game into the game room and set it up. And so here we go. Off to the game room. Alright, just gotta throw the back glass in here carefully, very carefully. And there we go, Stingray is in the room. So that'll be about it for the Stingray for just a few weeks, and then we'll start working on the boards and stuff. But right now, it's time to get back to Rollergames, so let's get a Rollergames video up next. This is Pin Dude from My Vintage Pinball. Thanks for watching my Allentown game pickup 1977 Stern Stingray. See ya.